And moments ago, the national anthem and the mental preparation for the game ahead. Welcome, folks, to what promises to be a great Tuesday night of the NBA on 2K Sports. Alongside my broadcast partner, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Hart. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. First for Milwaukee, an inside out of Stanford University, a skilled post scorer with tremendous size, the 7-footer, Brook Lopez. Then it's Chris Middleton, and it's Antetokounmpo in at the 4. And for Brooklyn, Kyrie Irving is out there with Harden. And inside at center, a long 6'11", the sky-scraping big man out of Texas A&M, DeAndre Jordan. And it's Durant, and it's Aldridge in at the 4 spot. And that one's good.
You know, the only tough part of that basket for him was getting into such good position. The rest of it seemed easy.
You know, the Bucks were the last team to make it into the Eastern Conference playoffs, and part of the reason that happened was because they didn't really do well against the rest of the conference. 24 and 28 against the East.
The shot's good from Antetokounmpo.
Very well done. He is a confident, dynamic scorer.
Harden dishes to Durant. Back to Harden. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Here's Aldridge, and it's blocked by Antetokounmpo. Durant for 3. The shot will not go. Excellent D there for Middleton. Goes up. Hammers it home to polish off the break.
Solid work on the back end of that play.
Yeah, finish hard with 2 hands on the stuff.
Nothing extravagant about it, but there didn't need to be.
Clark, as you were saying, the rest of the Eastern Conference got the better of the Bucks. Had they been a little tougher against some of the lesser teams in their own conference, they might not have had to deal with the Heat in the first round of last year's playoffs.
Well, the Bucks tried to mix things up last year. Remember, they made the big trade in mid-season, too, going for J.J. Redick and moving on from some of the young players. And I think that changed. And, of course, the coaching switch from Scott Skiles to Jim Boylan. So they lost some of their momentum.
Now Harden, after the missed 3 from Lopez. And here's Harden. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Harden. And he comes off the screen and slams it through.
One of the oldest players in basketball made that dunk possible.
That's right, a terrific screen right there, Steve. Allowed him to lose his man and rock it to the rim.
Well, don't you love to see players working together in that fundamental play? Fun to watch.
Now here's Lopez. And Holiday kicks to Middleton. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Durant with some nice D.
Man, a nice job there defensively, just getting a hand up enough to bother the shot.
Yeah, that was very nice. Impressive. It made it a much more difficult shot.
Aldridge backing in. And then misses. That would have put him up.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
Harden outside. Fires the 3. That's good. Harden's got 7 points.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically, no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
Here's Middleton. Lopez a screen. Antetokounmpo. Aldridge is covering. Antetokounmpo kicks to Middleton. 2 open that time. Made it look too easy. 1:44 left to play in the first quarter. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Yes, Kevin, I was able to speak with Mike Budenholzer for a minute. He said that the key to the game will be how well they defend Kyrie Irving, adding he's shown himself to be one of the premier point guards in the game already. Whether it's passing, shooting, or penetrating, we need our guys in the backcourt to really get up into him, and our bigs need to be ready to bring help. Guys, you can bet that Irving will be their focus defensively.
Thanks again, Doris. And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Kicks it to T. Passes it to Tucker. He feeds it to Middleton. Stolen by Durant. He dishes it to Harden. Back to Durant. Clock at 6. Aldridge, the pass to Durant. Baseline jumper. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D.
Bucks ball.
There's 45 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. And Middleton kicks to T. Tucker. Number 24. Milwaukee, no good that time either. Nets leading by 3. Durant with it, now guarded by Middleton. Puts up the baby hook. Kicks it out to Harden. 3-pointer. They get the rebound. Jordan dishes to Irving. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. Irving's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Here's Teague. And it falls over the rim and in.
He shouldn't be afraid to take that shot more often. He's solid from there.
It's Durant with the drive. And he jams it with authority.
Boy, there's no extra on that one, fellas. Nobody's going to stop that.
Now when he comes in with the tomahawk, that's just too much force.
You can't punch it any harder than that. That was a rim rattler.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. Guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Nets?
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And they're sharing the ball, too, which I love. They're piling up the assist. We're seeing great offensive movement. Now, guys, now with the Nets and the Knicks both playing in New York, it's just added to the rivalry that was already pretty strong to start with. But it's interesting. If you're from Brooklyn and you grew up rooting for the Knicks, who do you cheer for now? It's probably divided some households. A lot of rivalries in families alone. It should be interesting as this team takes further root in Brooklyn.
That free throw, no good. And back to this Knicks-Nets rivalry. The Knicks, Clark, are considered the more established dominant team, but over the last decade, the Nets actually had the better winning percentage, and that might come as a surprise to some. They've beaten the Knicks when you look at games head-to-head. Clark have had more playoff success.
Yeah, when you crunch the numbers, clearly the Nets are considered the upstarts, but the fact remains over the last decade, as you said, Kevin, they've been the better team, and I think whoever you root for, with both of them playing at a high level, it's a great time to be a Hoops fan in New York.
Well said, it is.
Pretty bad defense, letting the offense get right to the rim, but smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know what's going to happen, and they sent a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
The Nets making a switch here. Landry's checked in.
Well, you know, the Bucks thought they had a plan to make a big push forward by pairing some talent together in the backcourt, but what seems to have happened is they are now mired in mediocrity, which is exactly where you don't want to be.
Postnoff, defended by Griffin. The fadeaway, that's good. Brooklyn leading by 6. And back to Minnesota, they were the 8th seed in the East last year, but still finished 6 games under 500. Still a lot of work for them to get above 500 and be in a position where, Steve, they are, competing for home court in the playoffs.
Yeah, a lot of changes for the Bucks in the offseason, but a team that was able to sneak in last year, they're hopeful to make it once again this season, but it feels like they're kind of stuck in the middle right now.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Yes, guys, the Brooklyn Nets going all in this season. With a team payroll of about $100 million, they have an additional luxury tax bill of around $75 million. Guys, the owner's sparing no expense in constructing this roster. But no question, a high burden of expectation for what they'll achieve. It's championship or bust.
No doubt about that. Thank you, Doris.
Good. And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim.
Timeout called the Bucks.
You know, it's been a while since the Nets have been one of the feared teams in the East. They had their best season since their days when they would make trips to the finals in the early 2000s. Really an excellent turnaround effort from the entire organization.
Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. 2 minutes now played in the second quarter. 0, guarded by Harris. Outside Holiday. There's a good screen. Terrific design on the big play, and he lays it in. And for the Nets, who were one of the big turnaround stories from last season, they did it by beating the team, Steve, they were supposed to in the rest of the Eastern Conference. Great record against the East.
Yeah, 36-16 against their Eastern foes, so pretty solid in that regard. You know, they decided early on that the key was they had to get home court advantage in the first round. And they set their goal and they hit it. Unfortunately, they got knocked off by Chicago in that first round.
Bucks trail by 8. He kicks to Forbes. Nailed from three-point land. Forbes has got his first 3 points of the game.
A wide open three. They need much better communication defensively.
Harden kicks to Landry. From the line, another one falls for Brooklyn. There's 1:54 left here in the second. Now the dish to Forbes. Back to Holiday. Pass to Antetokounmpo. And that'll be Milwaukee as it goes out of bounds. Bucks retain possession.
Boy, that pass was in the air a long time.
Long enough for him to get a finger on it anyway and send it out of bounds.
Here's Holiday. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Holiday's got 4 points now in the quarter.
They didn't get off to much of a start early on, but he seems to have shaken off the rust here in the quarter. Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
Kyrie Irving is checked in for James Harden. Holiday attacking. Shots good from Antetokounmpo. And now just a 3-point Brooklyn lead.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
Yeah, the defense has been futile here. 5 of the last 6 field goals in the lane.
Landry, defended by Forbes. Landry passes to Griffin. Rebound, Milwaukee.
Boy, he had a good look at that one. You hate to miss that shot.
Guys, we've seen some excellent offensive output.
Yes, sir, fellas. They've had it going on big time.
Big time is right, Clark. A lot of momentum here offensively.
Forbes dishes to Holiday. 4 on the clock. And the layup falls. Holiday's got 6.
And now we can see them really working it inside.
Yeah, taking advantage of the defense, really pounding it down low.
Harris kicks to Green. The kick out to Irving. Goes up with a strike. And he hits the jump shot. 5 points in the game.
The mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
Holiday, the pass to Forbes. Here's Antetokounmpo. The turnaround. It's hauled in by Harris. Lopez with the steal. And we're through 2 here in a good one. Nets.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Welcome, everyone. Let's see if we can spice up your Tuesday night with a little halftime report. The Brooklyn Nets in a tight one against the Milwaukee Bucks. And give them credit defensively. They're boxing out, controlling their defensive backboards. James Harden not having any difficulty scoring against the defense of the Bucks. He's up to 9 points, and he's stacking up the assists too, keeping the defense off balance with his passing. And on the other side, Milwaukee just keeps scrapping. With 2 quarters left to play, they've been an offensive juggernaut, scoring with impunity. Some great work there by Jrue Holiday. Everything's finding its way through the rim, and he's been filling it up early. And that's all we have for you here in the studio. Now let's send it on back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke for the second half of play.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And welcome back to New York City as we look at an enchanting view of Lady Liberty. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
Well, he created a lot of opportunities for himself in the first couple of quarters. And tell you what, he was smart with his shot making too. Really took good ones.
You know, points per shot attempted is really one of the undervalued stats in the game, and it's a real measurement of efficient scoring.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hey guys, Roy Hibbert, the 17th overall pick back in 2008, but there were concerns about him, that he was too slow, not athletic enough. Hibbert said, people said I wouldn't be in the NBA. People said I wouldn't be a starting center. I just proved people wrong, and hopefully I'll be the best when it's all said and done. The best? He added, quote, I will be the best center in the league one day. With his remarkable improvement thus far, he's not far off.
Well, you combine that size and that will to dominate. He's become a big factor. Great stuff, Doris. Thanks. Gets it to go.
A big problem for the Bucks last season was closing out games in the fourth quarter. You know, too often they would see their defense fall to the wayside as soon as the game started heading down the stretch. And as a result, they lost a lot of close ones.
And Middleton kicks to Antetokounmpo. Just 5 to shoot. Baseline J on the way. That is good. Antetokounmpo's got 7. Nets leading by 3. Well, Clark, you brought it up. The Bucks defense would be solid for 3 quarters of the game, but would just not look like they were supposed to be in the fourth quarter at all. Not sure, Steve, if it was fatigue or something else that got to them.
I thought one of the keys was they didn't have great perimeter defense. And so even though they were a good shot blocking team, they were constantly having to cover up on penetration. And so even though you might get some shot blocks, you're also going to give up layups and offensive rebounds. That was a major problem for the Bucks last year.
Holiday with it. Guarded now by Irving. Outside Holiday. Shot is off. So Brooklyn will take it the other way. They've led by as much as 10. Harden kicks to Jordan. Back to Harden. The Nets working the ball around now. Aldridge dishes to Durant. 6 on the shot clock. Irving attacking. Some solid defense from Antetokounmpo. Bucks trail by 6. Outside Holiday. A 3-pointer off the mark.
Well, they need a shot or two to fall here soon. They're only 1 of 4 since the break.
Harden the pass to Jordan. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. And the Nets lead by 8.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
Milwaukee making a switch here. Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Dishes it to Holiday. The pass to Middleton. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Middleton's got 6.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
Back to Aldridge. Harden outside. Lets it go from deep. It's rebounded by Drew Holiday.
You know, even though he missed that one, great shooters have a way of feeling when they've got enough room to pull the trigger.
Yeah, not enough defensive coverage there to prevent him from firing that time. But I think if he's open, he's got to let that thing fly.
Milwaukee making a switch here. 1:43 left to play in the third. Feeds to Lopez. Post-up shot. The shot is off. And Brooklyn will now go the other way with it.
Well, you know, it's still exciting to come here to the Barclays Center, this beautiful new arena, and you really like the fact that it's built to showcase basketball. Terrific sight lines, everything the fans could ask for.
It's Harden with the drive. Shot clock at 6. Tries again. And that's 2 points on the layup. Harden's got 13 points.
Yeah, guys, it's his consistent shooting that's really helped get his team into a position they're in right now.
We talk about the allure of the new arena. Steve, even when teams are staying in the same city so often, a push is there for a new arena.
Yeah, that's the reality of the business. It's all about entertainment. It's about being cool. It's about kind of the brand, and I think that's where Brooklyn really made that huge jump last year. It was just the uniforms and the arena and the fan base and being in Brooklyn. It all came together, and now it feels like a world-class organization.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
Chris Middleton's checked in for Milwaukee. Teague comes in for Drew Holiday.
An up-and-down season for the Nets last year, and the playoffs were just more of the same. They ended up getting knocked out by the Bulls in the only first-round matchup that went to 7 games.
Post knock. Aldridge is covering. The 10-footer. Gets it to go. He has 6.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half.
Teague against Irving. The kick out to Aldridge. Back to Irving. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. Irving's got 10.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback.
And the final period of play just about to start. Let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Nets.
Well, they're getting into the paint with their penetration, and it's really been key for this club.
They've consistently drilled the mid-range jumper tonight as well, which has forced the D to come out on them.
The kick out to Aldridge. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. And it's 6 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Boy, when you've got a big man who can shoot from distance like he can, what a huge bonus that is.
That's good.
That's what has to happen if they're going to turn this thing around. He's got to take charge. He's got to be aggressive and really look to push here offensively.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Well, after a brief 2-year drought, the Bucks got back to the playoffs this past season, but it wasn't pretty once they got there. With several guarantees from players about upsetting the Heat, they didn't win a single game and were swept by the Miami Heat.
Back to the Bucks in the playoffs. In every aspect, they were overmatched by the Heat, and no one really thought they would upset them, but many thought, Steve, that they would at least get a game.
Well, I wasn't one of them, Kevin. I thought they were overmatched from the start, and you could tell in that series Miami wasn't even interested until the 4th quarter. They knew they could just flip a switch and beat this Milwaukee team, and that's exactly what they did.
First free throw is good. Jeff Green is checked in for Brooklyn. He's perfect from the line this time. 1 minute now into this 4th quarter. Brooklyn leading by 9. Right side Durant. Back to Griffin. Jeff Green on the wing. And Durant gets it to go. The assist by Green. And it's 7 points for Kevin Durant.
I don't know who was supposed to be on him there, but clearly a mistake by the defense.
Timeout called the Bucks.
Well, he looks like he wants to toy around with some of their sets and matchups here.
You know, I don't think you can afford to go through a whole game doing the same thing over and over, and you have to be able to adjust on the fly, just like he's doing here.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, guys, Mike Budenholzer had some words for his team. He was not at all satisfied with their effort levels, saying, "We're losing the hustle plays and all the 50-50 balls. We simply can't win that way. We've got to get after it." Let's see how they respond, Kevin.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they needed it.
It's Harden with the drive. Pass to Green. Outside Durant. Durant off a pick from Green. Shot from free throw range. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys. But as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
Unstoppable offense from both teams. I love the pace this game has been played at.
So does everybody else in the building. This has been a fun one.
Griffin kicks to Durant. Irving. Griffin sets the screen for Irving. Harden outside. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net. Bucks trail by 9. Here's Middleton. Passes it to Antetokounmpo. The feed to Holiday. He passes to Antetokounmpo. 0. And it's Brook Lopez with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Nets leading by 9. Back to Griffin. Deflected. Here's Antetokounmpo, guarded by Harden. Kicks it to Middleton.
2 minutes.
Pass to Antetokounmpo. 1:52 left here in the fourth quarter. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Well, we've seen that more than a few times. An easy bucket in the lane.
Yeah, the interior defense simply has been lifeless.
Free throw off from Antetokounmpo. Harden dishes to Griffin. Green, the pass to Durant. Free throw line jump shot. And again, it's Brooklyn converting.
I wasn't so sure he could get it turned around after that poor first half, but he's got it rolling here a little bit in the second.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee. They're trailing by 9. There's 1:34 left to play in the final quarter. The Nets making a switch here. Aldridge is checked in. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Antetokounmpo kicks to Middleton. There's the pass to Antetokounmpo. Offline with his 3.
Another strong rebound, just like we got used to seeing from them today.
Yeah, 1 or 2 more of those, and this lead will be double digits.
And that one's good, Irving.
He had 1 in the first as well. He can be dangerous. Keep an eye on him.
There's 57 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And Holiday kicks to Lopez. The jump hook. Can't get it to go. Nice D from Griffin. Here's Antetokounmpo. And it's off from three-point range. Brooklyn's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. Harden up top. Here's Griffin. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
They didn't take their time wrapping this game up. They pretty much did it in a hurry.
Yeah, they had a nice spurt to polish this one off.
Here's Antetokounmpo. Aldridge is covering. He feeds it to Middleton. Milwaukee, no good that time either. Out of bounds, Milwaukee takes possession. And some changes here for the Bucks. Here's T. Pass to Antetokounmpo. T. Number 24. And that comes off the assist by Jeff T. Here's Harden. No good. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see